So guys, today's video will be a proper video that will take really long, not just to film, but also to upload and make. So I would love if you just share this video with your friends. I'm not begging you for likes or anything. That's your own business. If you like this video, just like it. If you don't even bother, because it's up to you. I'm not gonna bother saying like this video now or there will be a spider on your bed. I hate those type of people. So don't worry. Stay comfortable. While I'm gonna do this really long video. It will be going about two audio equipment devices. One of them will be shown very shortly, and we'll do a really short review on them because I've had lots of them that do basically the same thing. But we'll take a look. We'll take a look at a Bluetooth speaker today. We'll take a look at its spec sheet. Well, spec sheet. We'll take a look at its sheet. Let's just call it a sheet. We'll take a look at the speaker itself. We're gonna sound test it. We're gonna test the cable that came with it. We're just gonna check what kind of milliamp per hour the cable can handle. If it's high quality cable or just a piece of crap. And much more in-depth stuff. We're gonna test all the different ports and modes that it has. So this will be a juicy new video for y'all. It's gonna be very in-depth about a product that no one can actually buy. Because you have to join a subscription, and my grandma did that, and now she gave me this awesome Bluetooth speaker, which will be sound testing and everything. We'll be testing we'll be testing everything. We'll even be comparing packages and stuff like that. So this is gonna be a great video. Unfortunately, disclaimer: it's not filmed in HD, but I do have lots of lights on. I've turned on all my LED lights, including my what are they called? My GU10 lights that I mostly have. It's free GU10 lights. They suck energy and they get really hot, but that doesn't matter. I always use them for YouTube videos. My clock radio is on, and obviously my little weird this thing, but we'll not be filming right here, sadly, because there's just not enough space. What the hell are those clothes doing there? Anyways, we're gonna start first of all with the earphones that I got with one of the two audio equipment devices that I got, which is these earphones. So I'm not even gonna sound test these because the current earphones that I'm using for sleeping, because I listen to some ASMR sounds. Well, not those crappy, really cringy people munching sounds or peeing sounds or whatever. I'm listening to forest sounds, which is apparently ASMR. I hate ASMR in general. I just really love those noises because they're freaking binaural audio or whatever you want to call it, like stereoscopic audio. It's really cool, especially with earphones. And I currently use these little pink ones. They're 80 cents and they absolutely suck. They only have mids. I already lost a little thing of that. Didn't even know that because I sleep with these. The next day, they're almost all of the time I don't wear them anymore. Yeah, don't know what I'm doing at night, but I guess these earphones see that or something. Yeah, this little thing has worn off yesterday while I was sleeping. So I got this new pair. Obviously they sound dreadful, but that doesn't really matter because I'm not gonna buy expensive shit earphones just for sleeping noises. These are gonna do the job fine. They're in this nice little case, which I really love because these tangle up ridiculously much. And when I couldn't find these, I actually used a pair of even crappier earphones. You probably know those headphones that have like two wires molded onto each other. Well, that mold had completely broken, and now they look absolutely ridiculous. I mean, my friends started laughing really hard when they saw that. Fortunately, though, these don't have that. If I can get them out of their case. There we go. Nice little proper case. It's not one of those really crappy tower ones. They also have one that looks a bit like a tower and has one of those handles at the top. It's really excessive. For earphones that sound this horrible, it's really excessive to do that. But they get the job done. They will get definitely the job done. Not a really lovely case, to be honest. Don't know what this logo is, but it's not whatever the brand is called. The Atlas for Men. There we go. Which is the brand where the Bluetooth speaker is coming from, which is much cooler than this. If you're finding these earphones boring, well, you're gonna love that Bluetooth speaker for sure. Oh, here's the extra little tip. Here's the ear tip. But here's the big star of the show. The Atlas for Men Bluetooth speaker. If you join their subscription, you're gonna get this speaker. And if we'll first take a look at its data sheet, or data sheet. The sheet, this is printed out by my grandma. This is the sheet that we got. I'm not gonna talk about everything that it says here, but long story short, it says that it has Bluetooth 5.1, which it probably does not have. It probably either has Bluetooth 4.0 or 4.1. Jesus. So yeah, that is probably not true. It says that it has a metal grill, which will be interesting because I'm pretty skeptical about that. It has a USB-A port, a SD card slot, a integrated radio. Finally, they freaking advertised the built-in radio, and I really love that Atlas from Man did that, because my previous Bluetooth speaker was a speaker with cool LEDs on the front, and someone in the comments of that product advertisement asked, how do I use the radio? I only hear hissing noises. And literally, an employee said in the comments that didn't work. I plugged it into a USB cord, turned on the radio, it worked excellent. So it's ridiculous what manufacturers do these days. So that is really refreshing to see. It's an absolute. It was the iDance BM1 speaker that I did a video on a year ago that absolutely blew up in terms of views. That's why I'm doing this, but much more in depth. Well, I did do a sound test on it anyways, but it does not have two speakers, but it has something cool instead, which we'll get into later. No idea how to change the lights on this, and we'll probably figure that out later. No idea how to do it. 2 years of warranty on such a bad product. Wow. Well, that's actually kind of rude to say, because I got this new. It's brand new. I have tested it, but it's brand new in the packaging. So yeah, USB-C jack connector, so just your usual aux connector, so you can plug it into your MP3 player and stuff like that. 10-meter range, just like any crappy Bluetooth speaker. Joy guaranteed, it says right there in Dutch. So yeah, it says amazing sound, but the word sound is muziek in Dutch. So they literally mix Dutch and English together? I don't know, man. But yeah, it says that it has a 2-hour battery life, which is ridiculously low, to be honest. That's a really low amount of battery life. Even my old Bluetooth speaker had that. So yeah, it has 3 watts of power, a metal grill, ABS plastic, and the model number is AA873, and I googled that and they're not lying. So on the box, here you got the Atlas from Man logo. On this side you have the, Jesus Christ, the focus that does not want to work. It's called the KDO, and the word enceinte is French for speaker, I think. It's a KDO AA873. Although it has a lot of French text in it, this actually was bought from Belgium, and they talk French there, which is really annoying. So yeah, I think it's just imported from China, because it is made in China. Because I tried doing some stuff. I tried translating this, and it says something that it came from China. No idea what UKCA means. It has that on the speaker too, so no idea what that is. As you can see, the packaging is quite similar to this packaging, which I had from the mini speaker. It actually says the manufacturer, JKS. I tried googling that, and JKS is a Chinese manufacturer that takes Chinese speakers, like the tiny, they take like the tiny crappy non-brand speakers, and let manufacturers put their brand name on it for cheap. So that's actually quite cool. I actually found multiple websites with that result. This, on the other hand, has lots of bullshit about a gun or something. So I found some French websites, but I think they were mostly related to Atlas for Men, which is a clothing shop, by the way. So let's open this up and stop rambling. So this was how it originally came. Well, I have opened this, but I've put it back together as good as I could. The manual was just sitting on top like this, but the manual is so huge that I just couldn't put that back. it just says that it has a microphone built in, which we'll test later. A on and off switch, micro SD, volume, a modus button, volume plus, and your usual books and shit. As oh, damn it, what was he called? Flossie Carter would say. The speaker comes in this bubble wrap. Finally doing an unboxing on this video, and the micro USB cable was just tucked in like that. This micro USB cable, oh boy, this micro USB cable, oh my goodness, it is even worse than the micro USB cable that came with my Chinese headphones. That was actually a decent-ish cable. I think it was even slightly shorter than this, but this is like your usual Wish cable. Cables are actually made out of copper. From the inside, these are just copper strands that transfer 5 volts. But look at it, it has that screw on the sides like your usual Wish cable thing it has. It's ridiculously short. In fact, it may actually damage the speaker's charging ports, let's be honest. Just by bending the cable. It's absolutely horrendous. It feels like it's gonna break in seconds, and I would not suggest using this. At least the cable itself doesn't get hot. Like, I've had multiple YouTubers that has got these cables from products and they started getting warm. I've never had that issue. Even if I connect the crappiest cable that I have to a really, really heavy power source, like for example this 1500 milliamp hour power bank, that's a really heavy load, not just for the charger but also for the cable. Didn't get hot, so I might actually test that with this power bank since it's at 27%. And the reason why I have a power bank here, you're probably gonna see why later. So yeah, that's basically the packaging and the huge manual, which basically says that it has 3 watts of power, and that it has a 300 milliamp hour battery. I think it actually says, no, it does not say what it is. Finally, they say the voltage that it needs. It only requires 5 volts, but it requires 5 volts, but only 500 milliamps. So that's really crappy USB charge that puts out 650 milliamps is gonna do fine. Charging at the rated milliamps might be better, but sometimes it doesn't really matter, to be honest. But with some products I've had, using the included cable will make it charge faster. It's really, really weird that they include such crappy cables, but they actually charge it better than this. I have no idea why they do that. Maybe these cables don't have. Maybe it's because the reason that these cables don't have any data cables in it. Like, you have inside a cable you have red, black. Those are the 5 volts cables. That's like what transfers the power. And data plus and data minus, which is white and green. And I think these cables don't have that, and I think that actually boosts it because this doesn't need any data. I don't know, man. It's weird. But I've had it before, like with my headphones, for example. With the headphones that I'm currently using, they did include a proper cool looking cable with a cool design on it. And it does actually charge the thing, I think, slightly faster, but I think that's only obligatory with a slower charger. So let's stop rambling and get this out of its packaging. At first, it looked like a fake JBL, but it's actually a fake Sony, and that's really cool. And yes, they are actually right. This is a metal sheath, but I think it's really, really crappy metal. Like, I think it's even crappier metal than is used on a really, really tiny speaker that I got for $1. Quality-wise, it doesn't have a passive radiator, which is sad, but it actually has one, and we'll get into that later. Your usual ports and shit on the back, and the sticker that says the model number, which I'm not gonna Google in this video because then the video will get even longer. But it has France on it. It's not made in France. I swear it's not made in France. So yeah, DC 5 volts. It has 3 watts of speaker power, 300 milliamp hours. Sadly, it doesn't have the milliamp hour rating. It only has that inside of the manual. By the way, the manual on this, from this speaker, was ridiculous. It literally says that it has NFC, and I tried that thinking this can be working. And nope, it does not have NFC. So yeah, you do have screws on the back, which is great, so you can actually upgrade it. So if the speaker sounds too crappy to you, you can actually go ahead and open it up and change the speaker. So, the LED, first of all, the LED lights don't look like this. So, don't throw away your Sony XB series speakers, since this does look like a Sony and a JBL slightly. The reason why this looks a bit, this, Jesus Christ, that was fireworks. The reason why this looks kind of like a Sony, you'll see later. Uh, the reason why this looks a bit like a JBL is because of these sides. Every single manufacturer likes to copy this circular design, but yeah. It has your usual small little speaker driver inside of there, which looks exactly like the speaker driver that I blew up, sadly. It's that tiny speaker. I have no idea where it went. It was that tiny 3-watt speaker that I did a bass test on. Oh, here it is. I got it. As you can see, it's blown. I did that on accident. It looks, holy cow, it looks exactly the same. In fact, the speaker actually weighs more than the... Oh my goodness. This thing weighs less than the speaker. Wow. Sadly, the speaker is broken, so I could not put it in here. But what I might do is I put some... you know what? I'm actually gonna get into that later. Why this is such horrible. But yeah, you do have micro USB. Still no USB-C, but I don't really care because I don't have that much USB-C cables lying around. SD, aux. Yes, JBL does not have aux anymore in their speakers. Shame on you, Harman Kardon. SD, aux, full-size USB. We'll test later if it has any output. We'll see if it can actually output power, because I've had it before that I could actually charge my phone with my really old Bluetooth speaker, and it was not meant to be used with that. So the speaker was actually going haywire. So yeah, now that I include some bubble wrap. I can't compare it to this speaker because it's blown, and even then it would be a ridiculous amount of work, since this video is already a lot of work. So, sorry for the background noise. We'll turn this thing on. We'll do a sound test, and actually, you know what? I'm actually gonna do a charging test first. So let's get that amazing quality cable. Plug it into my power bank. This is not my power bank. This is my dad's old power bank. And the funny thing is, this is where the cable, the cable that comes with it is broken. Look at it. Just look at it. The LED, well, the LED looks fine, but it's fairly dim. Well, never mind. I think it's actually yeah, see, now it's off. And now it's on again. This cable is broken. Well, broken, it's not properly, it's really, really weak. Probably because it got bended when my grandma used this. By the way, the reason that my grandma gave this to me is because she already has a JBL radio that functions as a Bluetooth speaker as well. So yeah, the cable does work. It has this LED inside. Does it light? Can you see the LED light through it? No, that's cool. Finally, some quality about this product. Oh yeah, there we go. That's the LED at its brightest. So I'm gonna unplug this since it's already 80% charged. We'll get into how I know that later. So yeah, quite a bad quality cable. Quite bad that it actually doesn't work properly. But I guess what do you expect, to be really honest? There's a screw on the side. Look at that. Holy cow, that is... Current testing, no, I'm not even gonna test this for how much power it can put out. It's absolutely horrible, and I think you should just use your Samsung USB cable that came with your phone, even though Samsung's cables are already horrible enough, to be really honest. So yeah, I might get this sticker off. It's probably to hide one of the screws. It's just your... Holy cow, those look like horrible screws. Does it fit your usual screwdriver? Yep. So you can just take this apart easily without any weird things like security screws. So, let's get a device. Here we have my Samsung Galaxy Tab S Wi-Fi. SMT800. It has excellent Bluetooth connectivity, by the way. So we'll just put this a little bit closer to the camera. Oh my goodness, why does the screen look so bad on camera? The screen is absolutely amazing. It's an AMOLED display. So why does it look bad on camera? No idea. I'm just going to turn up the brightness way too high. That's going to drain the battery. I don't really care. You know what? Let's actually... never mind, it's 47%. Man, I'm freaking out here. So let's turn on the speaker. Listen to the startup sound.
Power on.
It says hour on.
Power on. Bluetooth mode.
Wow, it actually vibrates. Yep, 10 million different lights, and you can see through the entire thing. I've never have that. I've never seen that before. I've had a $6 speaker that didn't have that. Cool lights though. That reminds me of the of that Sony XB30.
Pairing.
Here it says pairing. It has to say 3 different words in there to let you know that it's pairing. Cool lights, but it doesn't reflect very good. It didn't use any light reflectors on here, so it's just 2 LEDs. Is that a wire? I don't. I think you can actually see a wire through that, or like a red wire. 300 milliamp hour battery is not that big, by the way. On this device, you can't see the battery life of the device. Well, technically you can. I have installed a different app for that, but I'm not gonna bother doing that because it will disconnect and it will reconnect in order to do that. But it does say the battery life on my phone, so it does work. So it's called BT speaker.
Connected.
It says connected, which is not connected. Plus, you know what? It might actually be the lag that this thing has because it's Bluetooth. Oh my goodness! You can actually just you can literally just see the pinpoints where you can take off the little grill. It looks rugged. I mean, it tries to look rugged with these little things on the side, but it's nothing. It's literally just nothing. By the way, this is a passive radiator, so that's cool. We can test that out. Or is it a speaker? I have no idea. I think, no, it's not a speaker at all. Otherwise, it wouldn't be that visible in light, I think. Nope. I think that's a really crappy looking base radiator. It doesn't weigh anything. But yeah, let's test this out. Okay. Since I got copyrighted on my speaker video, I'm just gonna do it the same way. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, guys. It's YouTube's fault. Unbox therapy mix. Well, I don't think that's not copyrighted. Jesus, it's going absolute haywire, the focus. Let's choose a song. It says that it has 7 different light modes, and the lights go with the music. That's not true. What the fuck? No porn. No porn. Oh my goodness. Wow, that was really, really embarrassing. How the hell am I gonna change this? My previous Bluetooth speaker, you just hold the mode button. On this one, you press it once.
FM.
F
AUX
FM,
mode.
AUX,
Bluetooth mode.
and Bluetooth. Okay. I'm gonna try and get this to work with different lighting modes. So unfortunately, I can't get that to work. I can't change the lights. I think it's just one thing all the time. Holding the mode button just changes the modes. I do want to point out that the lighting is very good. I mean, obviously it's definitely not strobing. That's what it's called, strobing, not whatever I said, filtering or whatever. It's not strobing. It's not like there's a filter on top of it that makes it go all the way around. I mean, I've seen that on like $15 products, but this doesn't have it. What does this do when the volume is at max? That takes a long time. Wow. I think you just control it via the media of your phone. So we'll do a sound test on this in a little bit. Can you use it while charging? I've seen a speaker that couldn't do that. The lighting is pretty darn flashy, you know. I mean, it's not like very dark. I mean, I've never seen a Bluetooth speaker that has dark lighting, but I've seen like RGB keyboards that have like really dark stuff. So at least you do get good LED, apart from the horrible strobing. I mean, my previous $15 Bluetooth speaker had pretty good lighting too, but it was not as intense. So, can this charge? Oh yes, it definitely can. This is where the little LED lies. So a special LED they have made purely for charging that's flickering like crazy because of this stupid cable. Just gonna unplug that. Cable is pretty tight though. So let's test it out. Oh. That's what you hear with max volume. Why is it so silent? Let's turn this on and off.
Power on. Bluetooth mode.
It vibrates pretty darn hard when you turn it on.
Connected.
It still says connected. I just can't. It's neglected. Okay, that's a bad joke. No idea what volume this is. I think it's like 50%. Let's cover the hole, so let's see if that works. So yeah, at higher volumes it actually sounds alright, but it's definitely nothing groundbreaking. It's just your usual $15 Bluetooth speaker that just sounds like a $15 Bluetooth speaker. The reason that it's free is pretty cool. I mean, it does sound clear, I'll give it that. But there's just some sketchiness going on with this, I don't know, man. How to cover these holes all at the same time? I don't know, man. I'm doing it so that the bass can come through. But it doesn't vibrate hard enough to do that. Nope, it does not have any effects. You know what? That actually sounds alright. I think the problem is the amplifier, really. On the previous, on my really old speaker that I had, the main problem I think just lies within the speaker itself, because it sounds really shallow. The amplifier is pretty darn good inside of that thing. Jesus, a stupid light went out again. The amplifier is pretty darn good in it. It gets really loud, but it gets really shallow, distorted and stuff like that. So yeah, on this, the main thing is I think just, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if I have to put the screws tighter on this or like what. I want to keep it in original shape, to be really honest, since it's brand new. Smells like Chinese plastic. No, just kidding. It does smell like anything. So that's actually pretty darn good. So yeah, final thoughts on this. It's alright. It's not as shallow, to be really honest. I have the volume pretty high on this, but it just doesn't really get that loud. I think that's your main problem here. It does have a stand, but it's not anti-slip. My old Bluetooth speaker that I had before my JBL with those lights, the Iden's BN1 had anti-slip on the bottom, which is not replaceable, but at least you can just you can put some double-sided tape on there and it will be fine again. It does have a stand, and I actually kind of like the look at the of the LEDs. Makes it look a bit like a Sony. But yeah, I don't know. Is it fakery? I don't really think so. Is it better than your fake JBL from Wish? No idea, to be really honest. I've never tested one of those. But to be really honest, I think muffled sound is a less big issue than shallowness. So let's turn this up at full volume with a much more bassy song. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna listen to some copyrighted music myself, just to see how good this thing really sounds without the stupid YouTube copyright infringement shit happening. Guys, I just noticed, if I cover up the ports with my hand, it literally sounds slightly better, and there's actually a tiny bit of bass. Oh man, I said it. It's not sealed at all. It's the speaker will sound just as good in this case as it would without it. Okay, with the ports covered up, it sounds meh. It sounds decent. Does the bass radiator help? I don't really think so. I'm doing some copyrighted music here. Some very bassy stuff. Does covering this up help? Yeah, it definitely freaking helps. I'm probably just gonna put some tape over it. But yeah, that would be stupid with the little charging port. So what I'm probably gonna do is I'm gonna get the screws out of this. So my main question now is, shall we take this apart and get it filled up with some what's it called? With some glue, because it clearly sounds better if I put my hands over these ports. It literally sounds much better. So clearly the main problem is it's not sealed properly. I'm not gonna destroy this. I definitely am not. The lights are really cool in my opinion. They could be a bit annoying because you can't change the lighting. Could be cool if you could just change this to fixed lights. Because if I go to bed, I always sleep with red lights. This little clock radio turns on the red modus. So maybe I could use this as a light as well. But no, you can't. It is a really cool design in my opinion, and it will replace my old Iden's BM1, which is basically my brother's speaker at this point in time. So this will be mine. It's brand new, and that's really cool. So I'm just gonna ask my grandma if I can take this apart, and then take it apart, I guess. For now, I really hope you enjoyed this really long tour of this. What's it called again? Atlas for Men speaker, or the what is it called? KDO, well, I'm probably sure it's just Chinese. The AA caps 873 Bluetooth speaker. It sounds alright, but it's pretty cheap. The plastic feels, I don't really know what to think of the plastic, to be really honest. But sealing is absolutely horrible. The lights are cool. The lights are very cool in my opinion, but they don't really do much in terms of customization because they don't go with the music at all. And I think they just got this huge manual from their other speaker with just some images from this. So yeah, design is okay, but it's not fully a copy of JBL or Sony. It's just a mix of two of them. So yeah, it will get the job done. It does sound okay, but it lacks bass. But that's basically the reason for that is just it's sealed absolutely poorly. And just by putting my fingers like this will fix that, I guess. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video and see you later.